Solid Talk Podcast, episode number 13. And this week, we'll be talking about a few things going on. What's going on right now in the labor community? What's going on out there? Well, number one, we have another government funding issue, which is slowing down the NLRB. The NLRB gets its federal funding from the government. Right now, there's no funding. So, any issues that you may have at the NLRB, the National Labor Board, is going to be delayed. If you were fired and you got to wait for your grievance to be heard to see if you were terminated early or wrongfully, it's going to be delayed. And for a father or a mother that's been terminated wrongfully across the nation, that could be very, very hard because, number one, the bills do not wait. The bills do not wait. And obviously, it's very difficult when they tell you any issues that you have at NLRB are going to be postponed till funding comes. I know that if you were having an election to join a union, that's also delayed. If you were having a vote to UD, like our friend Abel Garcia was saying he was going to have a vote over at Frito-Lay in Ventura County, that's going to be delayed until further notice, till the funding comes. So anytime that the NLRB or any federal agency is delayed by funding, it's a problem. We don't know who to blame here. The blue, the red, the pink, the purple, whoever. The fact is this. We pay our taxes so they could do their job. Right now they're having an issue. They're going to work it out and they're going to get back to work. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have the NLRB back and open. If not, next week will be another week. If you have any friends that were let go and they're waiting for their NLRB hearing, reach out to them, see how they're doing, help them out if you can. You know, times it could be tough for a family. So if you were terminated for whatever, it could be difficult. So just stay the course and keep on fighting. Clear your name, and hopefully this NLRB opens back up pretty soon. And also out there in Ventura County, this gives those people that were voting for the favor of the UD a chance to change their mind. Change your mind. Give Abel Garcia and his team a chance. They've worked very hard to show you what they're worth. Your union dues are just a part of it. Remember, you get your medical, you get your pensions from this, off of the work of Abel and his team. It's joining a union is a commitment. We're all in this together. Some days we're going to be angry at each other. Some days we're not. Some days we're going to have each other's back. Some day we're going to probably not want to talk to each other. The point is this. Management is not your friend. Management could be further from that. They will butter you up, put an arm around you and say how you're better than the rest. And then when they don't need you, bam, just like that, you're gone. Don't ever think that management is your friend. Okay, they have numbers to meet. And if them buttering you up gets you to hurry the hell up and do your job faster, well, maybe that's just a method of them. That's one of their methods. You'll have people that lean on the counter and smooth the management, begging for an extra run or begging for a better truck. Come on. You know how it works. It's seniority. This is union. This is union. And union, it's all about seniority. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. But back to what I was saying here. Remember, management is not your friend, and seniority is there for a reason. It's been established a whole long time ago on how it works. So let's just run the program of the union and let's continue to be strong as a unit together. Moving on. So there's a couple of strikes going on still. A big shout out to the boys at 631 in Las Vegas, still on strike. We're hoping that those boys settle that soon. But remember, 631 in Las Vegas, they're on strike at the cement plant out there. Rinker Materials, I believe it's called. Well, we send you our support. Solid Talk sends you support. And hopefully we'll be out there again soon to check on you guys. I I know there is another strike locally that is going on. The nurses, they're on strike right now. I had a chance to be out there with them and get some interviews, and I visited three different other locations. And I'm gonna bring you some interviews right now. Another news to report: strike that I covered a few weeks back has settled out there in the lower desert, Central California. Transit, the bus line of El Centro Imperial County, local 542 Teamsters. Congratulations on getting your people a good deal. And I don't know the details of it, but I know this much. Flavio was a strong advocate for his team, for his people, and this man is serious business. Big shout outs to you, Flavio, and the whole Teamsters Local 542, fighting, not giving in, and getting your people the best deal possible. And congrats to all the bus drivers, mechanics. Now, this was earned by your sweat, by your grit, by your solidarity, standing on the strike line together, unidos as one unit. And that's what got this deal done. So congrats to Local 542 and the bus drivers out in El Centro. Now, locally here in the Inland Empire, you have a strike going on, not only here in Riverside, Fontana, Ontario, um, Moreno Valley, but you also have a strike going on in Los Angeles with the nurses union. The nurses union's on strike, and they want a new contract. They've been going at it since last year. I think November they said it started, but they want what they want. They want their protections. They want staffing levels to be right. And I guess the CEO that runs this hospital is a nonprofit hospital. Kaiser is a nonprofit hospital. So he's acting like it's a problem to give his nurses what they deserve. Those nurses are asking for just staffing numbers to be right, and they're asking for it to be something that they could work with. I'm going to take you into that right now, show you some of the interviews I did out there. Let's go now. Okay.
Solid Talk podcast out here in Kaiser Permanente of Riverside. So I'm with the ladies on strike right now. Ladies, introduce yourselves.
My name is Iris. I'm an ICU nurse working for Kaiser since 18 years.
My name is Kim Geiger. I am a registered nurse and I work on a med surge unit, and I've been with Unac for about 10 years now.
Denise, I am a registered nurse working in oncology. I've been with Kaiser for over 23 years.
Hi, I'm Tasha. I'm a unit secretary and I've been with Kaiser for 26 years.
My name is Chanel. I'm a registered nurse, family medicine. I've been with Kaiser for 23 years.
Oh my God, this is I'm not in nobody's way. So, how long has this strike been going on?
So this is not the first strike. So we striked in October for 1 week. And we were hoping that Kaiser, since they were not coming to the table and bargain with us for a fair contract, we gave them another chance to bargain with us, and nothing had happened. So now they walked away from the table. So now we called for another strike, which will be an open-ended strike. We will be striking until we get a fair contract.
So, it's a massive corporation. It's not even about helping people anymore. It's really about making money. They're holding out on giving the nurses the staffing, right? The money and the protections that they need to do their job the right way. Now, anybody that's a patient will tell you that the waits have gotten longer and longer and longer. But we can't blame the nurses, we can't blame the staff because they're just working with what they got. So right now, what are the major things we're looking for here?
Well, what I want to point out is I am with Kaiser since 18 years. At that time, it was very difficult to get a job at Kaiser because people would not retire. They were happy at Kaiser. Kaiser was treating us with respect. We got a fair pay, and we had a nice patient-nurses ratio, which is in part of in our contract, what the UNIC has fought for. And then came COVID, and everything kind of fell apart. Or even before COVID, suddenly the nurses-patient ratio changed. And they said, well, we're a little short-staffed, and it got worse and worse. It seemed like COVID was a way to kind of test us, how far they can push us until we break. And I think we have reached a breaking point. We have too many patients taken care of, and there's more push. You need to work faster, you need to work harder, even though they say work smarter, not harder. But there's only so much you can do. You leave your work, you know, you're exhausted, you're broken, your back is hurting, you don't want to go back to work because it's just so stressful. And we're standing up for more nurses at the bedside. And in order to retain nurses, we have to give them a fair wage, which we don't have anymore, because after our last contract we fell behind. Everybody else got a fair contract, just Unac, we just miss out. And so we're so behind now, we cannot retain nurses anymore. So we're so short staffed that we're just exhausted and we just can't do anymore. And if you look around the country, nurses are standing up everywhere, because it is not only a Kaiser thing, it's everywhere. We're just exploited, and I think we need to stand up and we need to be respected, because we do great work. We care for our patients. We need to have more nurses so we can take care of our patients the way we should take care of them. They pay a high premium at Kaiser. Kaiser nurses were always known for like the top nurses, and now things have changed. So we want to go back to where we came from, and that's what we're fighting for. And we will fight until the end.
So solidarity is everything, right? Solidarity is everything. Sticking together through the thin, through the thick, through the best parts and the worst parts. Now, the strike is gonna go till a deal gets done. But you guys got reinforcements coming on Monday. We got more people hitting the strike line with you, and it's gonna make it very hard for them to not notice. I just really, really hope that the people out there understand that no matter what, we got to stand with these nurses, because guess what? During COVID, they were your best friend. And the company has a really short term memory. They forget that. They make you essential when they want you. But when it's time to pay up, you're not essential. And now, what do we got? We got the rise of AI. They're trying to introduce this crap everywhere. Do you guys have that problem here with AI?
Not yet, but AI, of course, is part of it. Everything is computerized, but right now I haven't really seen anything. I don't want to speak to that.
Well, it's becoming an issue. I've met with the people from the Actors Guild. They're having computers do the voiceovers now. Some nurses in some places I saw there was a challenge coming up for that. Truck drivers like myself, we have that problem with AI. AI is going to disrupt. What we need to do is the unions, we got to put strong language in the contract to make sure these jobs are ours. They're not a robots, they're ours. You can put a robot somewhere else, just not in the patient, because the patient needs a human being there.
Exactly. There are certain things we cannot exchange with AI. I mean, where is the nurse that sits with the patient and holds their hand when they take their last breath? I don't think AI can do the same thing as we do, to just give them courage or pray with them. All these things that we do with our patients, that's hand-on. And so I think the nursing touch is still there, and that cannot be replaced with AI.
Trust me, I can tell you this. I had one accident in my life when I was a kid, and I couldn't walk for like almost a whole month. And it was because of the nurse that helped me get through it and talking to me and keeping my spirits up. Because when your family visits and they're gone, it's a lonely night in the hospital, especially as an 11-year-old kid. So I will tell you right now from firsthand experience, the nurse's touch is very important, because it doesn't matter the background. Doesn't matter if they're from the Philippines, the U.S., wherever, Mexico. It's all the same. The love and respect and the dedication is there, right? So let's stand with the nurses. And if you have to go to the hospital, just remember that they're on strike. Be pleasant on the way in. Don't cough on them, please.
I want one more thing. Our CEO, he used to be a nurse. And as a nurse, we all gave an oath, don't do any harm. So please don't do us harm by letting us wait any longer for any contract. We want to go back. We want to take care of our patients. And I think that's the most important thing. Just give it a fair contract. That's what we're asking for. Thank you.
When nurses fight, nurses win, right?
Yeah.
When nurses fight, nurses what?
Win!
That's right. Solid Talk Podcast out here in Riverside. Thank you.
Thank you.
Solid Talk Podcast out here in Ontario, California on the strike line. I am with one of the striking members, and your name is?
My name is Linda Hippolyte. I am one of the Unac UHCP staff reps.
So what's going on here? This strike, how long has it been going on?
Right now we're working at the end of our second week of the strike. It started January 26th and it's ongoing.
So right now, what's the biggest things that we're trying to get past? What are the hurdles?
We're trying to get Kaiser to one get back to the table to start bargaining with the bargaining team. They kind of stalled on that. We're also trying to get them to get more serious on our proposals for safe staffing, increase the number of nursings on the floor to help with increasing better patient quality care. We're also trying to make it so that it's safer for the nurses to care for those patients by having the right ratios to patient. Also, by making it such that you don't have to wait so long in the ED. You don't have to wait so long to be seen when you're at your appointments, your doctor's appointments, and so on and so forth. And also so that the nurses is not burnt out because they don't have enough staff and they're doing the best they can with what they have. And management's just not seeing that. They know what the work that they need to do, and management's just not listening.
What's a typical schedule for a nurse? Like how many hours a week?
Oh my goodness. So normally a regular hours shifts is usually 3 days a week, 36 hours, but that's normally how it works because of the shortages. A lot of nurses are working overtime. So, and also because, the inflation, they're working overtime also just to make ends meet. So a lot of people are working paycheck to paycheck. So that's the other thing too. So in addition to the safe staffing and quality patient care that we're trying to achieve, we're also trying to get caught up in fair wages so that, they can also provide for their families as well as take care of the community.
So even if you're a nurse, you're feeling the crunch of inflation. Everybody's working long hours. I myself, I'm a truck driver. 70 hours is usually around a regular week. But if we could get to 80, usually it's Christmas time, 80 hours. But you guys have a hard job. You're dealing with short staffing. You're dealing with insurances that are probably hampering the payments and making it longer and longer and longer. So right now, what do we need the most out of Kaiser?
Well, one, we need Kaiser to show respect to the nurses who are caring for these patients. They know what they're doing, they know what these patients need, and they need to start listening to them. They need to start listening to see what exactly is needed to care for these patients. And also, Kaiser needs to come back to the table. They need to stop doing this illegal bargaining by deciding that they're going to do what they want to do and not listening. The fight that they're fighting is really fighting against the nurses. They're not fighting against someone at a table. They're fighting against these healthcare professionals who day in and day out is taking care of this community, and that's all they want to do. But they also are part of the community as well, and they need to be cared for as well. And I think Kaiser has been working on their backs, making billions of dollars, and they're not acknowledging all the stuff that they've done for them to make those billions of dollars.
I've also noticed that the care has changed. Like early 2000s to like maybe like 2012, 2015, it started changing. They started getting a lot more um, government patients like Medicare, Medi-Cal. So it makes the waits a bit longer. Have you guys seen the rise of the work like that since that time?
I think from our side, the work has always been extra. Right now, even after COVID, the patients have been sicker from what's being reported. So, with regards to what type of patients that Kaiser get, it doesn't matter. We see the same amount of patients. We get them more. It's just that they're sicker now, and we don't have enough staff. So we have
The shortage of staff is drawing down on your manpower, woman power, and it's really starting to drain because it's no longer, hey, I'll do overtime next week and get night next week. No, it's every week now.
Right. Exactly. And that kind of burns you out. And at the same time, these nurses care about what they do. They care about their profession. They care about caring for these patients. And Kaiser doesn't seem to understand that's part of the reason why they're asking for all the things that they're asking for. And it's not just because they're greedy. It's not because they don't want to work here. There's nurses here who've been here for 30 years, 20 years. They've given their lives to Kaiser. They've given their lives to Kaiser. And Kaiser has just not really shown appreciation for all the work that they've done and all the stuff they've done to make Kaiser who they are, really.
Kaiser has gotten very big, bigger and bigger, with all the, how would you say it, like all the money that comes in from insurances, from probably even investors. Is it a publicly traded company? Do you know?
Kaiser is a nonprofit, as
Okay.
far as we know. But for a nonprofit company, it seems like they're more a big business now. And, this part of the hospital is just more of their humanitarian side. I don't know. But right
Wow.
now, they are a nonprofit organization.
They're still a nonprofit, so they're not traded on the Wall Street yet. But the way they're acting, you would think so. The way they're acting. But we got to take care of the nurses. Nurses got a long. They can't have a bad day. It's a matter of death. You could be careless and bump a trailer as a truck driver and get by, right? But a nurse can't have a bad day and give the wrong dose to somebody because then we got real problems, right? So the nurses are out here. They're going to be out here. They need the support. If you come into the hospital, be very nice to them because they're out here in the sun, in the wind. No matter what, they're going to hold it down because that's what solidarity is. And these nurses need your support. Make sure that you honk, bring some snacks, bring some water, whatever you can, support the nurses. And for Solid Talk out here in Ontario, California, thank you so much. Solid Talk podcast out here in Fontana, California on the strike line. Today I'm here with union members and patients of the strike. What is your name?
Demetria Griego.
How long have you been a patient of Kaiser?
Forever.
Well, obviously they got good care here because you're still going, right? So
Right.
what's going on with the strike? How do you feel about the strike?
I want them to get what they need because they're hard workers.
They're the most caring nurses, right? They're the most caring nurses and they care for you well. So right now this strike is ongoing. We're not going to stop till we get what we want, right?
That's right. Yeah. We gotta keep going.
So regardless of the winds,
I need them.
regardless of the winds, we're going to be out here in the strike line because when nurses fight, nurses win. When nurses fight, we win. Solid Talk podcast out here in Fontana on the strike line. I am with
Vanessa Alexander Davis.
Vanessa. How long have you been a nurse or you've been working for Kaiser?
I don't work for Kaiser, but I work for Unac UHCP that represents Kaiser.
Oh, so you're part of the union.
Yes, I'm part of the union and I've been there 9 years.
How big of a union is it?
We're pretty big. I think we have 34,000 strong members.
That's pretty big. And I heard the history was that it started here in Fontana?
I believe so, yes. It started in a small kitchen, then it worked its way into a garage, and now we have offices in San Diego, California, Hawaii, and City of Commerce. City of Industry, I'm sorry, City of Industry.
Wow. You guys are growing. You guys are one of the... What year did it start?
I believe it's a little more than 50 years ago, so I would say around early 70s.
And it's amazing because you guys are very diverse. You guys have from nurses to practitioners, right? You guys have it all?
Yes, we have caseworkers, speech therapists, dietitians, and recently we just taken on family...
Counselors?
Yes, family planning.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So the union is growing. More membership means more power at the table. The solidarity has to get bigger, has to be strong. Every time we go on a strike, the more there is, the better, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're out here. I'm a staff accountant, but we're out here, UNAC USCP staff, all of us, we're out here and we're standing with our members and we stand strong. We want them to know that we have their back and we represent them and we're standing with them.
Well, I'm sorry that it's a windy day in Fontana, and I know for the girls it's a bad day because the hair is all over the place. You guys put hours into the hair and then bam, Fontana ruins it. But where are we at? Right now, we're fighting for a contract. Are we getting any closer to a contract?
Not that I'm aware of. That's why we're still here today. We have been working very hard for a number of months. I believe about 9 months that we've been trying to come to and get a fair contract. And so we won't stop until we get that.
Well, you guys are going to get it because you can't run a hospital without the most important part. Nurses, practitioners, you name it. You can't run it without it. You can bring in everybody you want from wherever you want, but it ain't the same as the people that actually work here.
No, it's not. But I see it as we're here for not just the nurses. We're here for also the community, the patients, because if the nurses are not working in good working conditions, then it's an effect on the patients as well. So we want to make sure that the nurses are taken care of so they can take care of our patients.
Well, right here in Fontana, we appreciate it. I live here, so I know my mom loves this hospital. So this hospital, without you guys, it doesn't run. My son was born here, so I can tell you right now, this hospital in my heart has a lot of love. But I'll tell you this, Teamsters, UFCW guys, hey, if you're off, Get your ass out here and walk the line. Support them because everybody needs support when they're on the strike line. Bring some water, bring some chips, bring some snacks, whatever you want to bring. Bring yourself over here to the strike line. And this is Solid Talk in Fontana.
I hope that you were impressed by what we heard by all these nurses and union reps out there of the nurses union. Um, they mean business. You know, they want their contract. You know, they want their contract, and they're fighting to get it. They're standing in solidarity. I mean, the winds were pretty bad in Fontana, but you saw it. They had even a few patients out there that were in wheelchairs, standing around or sitting on chairs, but elderly patients that really love their nurses and the treatment they give them. And I can tell you right now, that hospital has good nurses. My mother goes there, and they gave good treatment to them. That's a very good hospital. My own son was born there, and I'll tell you right now, they are the most loveliest people when you're there in their care, and they deserve a new contract. There's no way that this company has the right to deny them that. Um, I even heard one story off camera that even the nurses they have coverage through Kaiser, and what Kaiser's doing now, they're even outsourcing it, sending people out to other non-Kaiser hospitals. Really, like even a Kaiser employee is being pushed out to another hospital that's not a Kaiser. What was the point? She even said it. What's the point of me paying Kaiser if you're going to send me somewhere else? Now, Kaiser's just biting at the apple, and they're biting more than they could chew. I remember back in the days, Kaiser used to be Cadillac service. You walk in there, boom, right in and right out. Has nothing to do with the nurses. What it is that they're flooding the system and not giving them the right number of staff. We're hoping that Kaiser comes to their senses and realizes that it's cheaper to negotiate with your own nurses, because those nurses that they have in there right now, what you could consider scabs, are from out of state, they're non-union, and they're paying more for them per day, per hour. They have to pay for their room, their per diem, their higher wages, probably even double whatever the regular wage of a union nurse is. So think about it, Kaiser. Are you really saving money by prolonging the negotiations here? You're hurting yourself. You're hurting the patients. Think about that. You're hurting the patients by doing this. Just come to the table, negotiate with them in good faith, and let's end this ULP strike and let's get back to work. These nurses want to be working, taking care of their patients. They're not out there because they want to. They're out there because they need to. Short-term sacrifice for long-term gains. That's my motto. If you're willing to do that, short-term sacrifice, short-term for the long-term of gains, that's where it's at. And the nurses are going to get theirs. They're going to get theirs, and we're going to continue covering them until they get their deal done. Check up on the Starbucks contract negotiations. They're still fighting. We'll see if we could get coverage with them soon again and interview them and see what's going on with them, what's the latest. Starbucks, keep fighting for your contract. Baristas, don't give up. I know that not all the stores are with you, but the ones that are not, they got to get on board, make this thing happen, become one union across the nation on all the stores. We could leave all the other noise at the door and just focus on this fight. Get in your contract. Get this contract. Okay? Focus on that, nothing else. I know that they're going to try to bring you with all these thousands of things to worry about. Worry about getting this contract. Okay? Worry about this contract. That's it. Continue to unite, walk the line, and support your people on the line. And anybody that's from a union that's off, think about this. This could be your daughter on strike. Support them. Walk up with some snacks. Walk up with some donuts, whatever you can. Water. Walk the line with them. 30 minutes. What does it hurt you? Good cardio, man. Walk off your lunch, whatever. Just walk out, walk the line with them. Downtown Disney, I know they're still there, and there's a few other ones. Okay, support the baristas on strike. We want to show them support because they're a young union. They're just like the young union forming in Amazon. Amazon also young union. They're forming a union there, and the companies can play games, but the longer they play games, the harder it will be. Let your people join a union because that's their right to join a union. That's their right. Now, another thing to end on, want to send our condolences to the family up there in the Livermore, California area. There was a tragic work accident that took the life of a Teamster brother, a truck driver. Now, the way he passed, we don't really know the details, but we know this: it was during work. He was on the clock. He was working, so he lost his life during being on the clock. And for anybody, just think about that. You're a father. You kissed your babies, goodbye to go to work, and you didn't make it home that day. That's tough for the father and for the family. Okay, so to our brother Juan Jacobo, rest in peace, brother. To his family, they're having a vigil up at the U.S. Foods in Livermore, California. That's Teamsters Local 853. If you are in the area or would like to attend, make sure that you reach out to Local 853 for more information. That will be taking place on Tuesday at 6 p.m. up at the Livermore U.S. Foods Yard. They're going to be doing a vigil for him there. I think it's a candle vigil. I'm not sure. But it's going to be at 6 p.m. So it'll be getting a little bit dark. If you want to support the family, there's no GoFundMe set up. I think the family is taking donations in person. So if you would like to help the family, the Juan Jacobo family, make sure that you reach out to 853, Local 853, up there in the Bay. Sucks. It sucks to hear this. Have a brother pass away at work. It just really, really sucks. And his family needs prayer. His family needs support. Any brothers up there, sisters up there that want to show support, support them. Please reach out to them. And it's always tough for all the coworkers that knew him, that know who he was. He was a hardworking person, for what I hear, and he's gonna be missed. He's gonna be missed because Teamsters, we're a big family, and no matter if you're on the East Coast or down south or up north, when that happens, it's tough because he was a brother, he was a Teamster. So our prayers, condolences to the family, and we'll keep you in our prayers. And everybody out there, just remember, when you're at work, guys, be careful. Take your time. Safety first. Remember that the companies will try to rush you, and things could happen. Don't make the mistake of letting the company force you into a mistake. It could be one that could take your life. It could be one that could take your license. Okay? So make sure, guys, that you're working safe. And just for now, remember this. Respect your coworkers. Respect your coworkers. Show respect. If somebody doesn't respect you, then just ignore them. If they don't want to talk to you, then don't talk to them. But just remember this. Always respect all your coworkers, because at the end of the day, we're all union. We're all Teamsters. And we know what? We see each other a lot. We see each other more than we see our own family sometimes. And don't let one bad day ruin your job. Okay? Just remember, guys, Solid Talk. Every week we're here. We cover union news, labor news, and we're going to be covering a lot of stuff. We got some more interviews coming our way in the next couple of weeks. And if you have anything you want to talk about on here, you could hit me up on the Instagram, or you can email me at info dot solid talk podcast at gmail. It's kind of a lot, so I'm going to type it up and put it here at the bottom. So anyways, if you want to reach out with anything, We could talk about it. Make sure you subscribe.